order the meeting of the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners for Thursday, July 19th. It is now 6 o'clock p.m. We have pledge of allegiance, gentlemen. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Heineman,
Here.
Commissioner Greatham, Commissioner London,
Here.
Commissioner Rushing,
Here.
Commissioner Samasco,
Here.
Commissioner Ward.
Here.
Item 3, do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I would like to make an addition to the agenda, the extension of the fourth contract extension amendment to the landscape excavation at the landfill. And if we could add that on as new business 11A.
You want A or K, Howard?
K.
Okay. Do a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda is amended. Do you have a motion to approve the agenda?
I would move the approval of the amended agenda.
Support.
Motion support, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 5, minutes of the previous meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that the minutes of the June 21st, 2012 Commission meeting and the July 12th Standing Committee meetings of 2012 be approved and filed.
Support.
Get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Are there proclamations to be read tonight? Being none, we have consent agenda. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda, items 7A through G?
I'd make a motion to approve items 7A through 7G on the consent agenda.
Are there any, a second?
Second that.
Is there any request for discussion on any of those consent agenda items? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is accepted. Reports of standing and special committees. To start down on my right, Commissioner Ward, do you have anything to report for standing or special committee?
No report.
Commissioner Heineman?
None at this time.
I too have no report. Commissioner London?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I have one quick thing I'd like to go over a little bit, and that would be, I attended the St. Clair County Road Commission meeting last night out in Kanoke, and one of the things they reminded me of was the road millage on the ballot on August 7th. And what this is a quarter to, and I'm sure we all remember as we put it on the ballot, but it's a quarter of a mill. And I just wanted to go over just a couple of items why. Of course, that in Public Act 51, which is the road tax money from the state of Michigan, how it's divided is 10% for buses, 39% state, 28% county, and 23% city. One of the issues that we're having and why this was put on in the first place, or requested to be put on, was the fact that townships do not get any millage, any money, road money, except for the money that we give them through our allocation every year. And so one of the issues that they're having is when we do have the largest number of bridges in the second largest number, Wayne County has the number one number of bridges in the county, but St. Clair County has 224 bridges. And what happens is when there is a state or federal allocation, it's usually in match form, and it's quite a lot for a small township to really match. And so this 0.25 will help them in the match money for allocations. And so I just want to mention that will be on the ballot. And again, for a home that's valued at $100,000, it would cost $12.50. So I just want to get that out there so everyone knew because people are voting already on absentee ballot.
Very good.
Mr. Chair, if I could just make a couple comments on that millage too. The emphasis should be that the part of the millage going to the road commission is strictly dedicated for grant funding. It can't be used to hire more people at the road commission, it has to be used for grant match. And the second thing is, because the road commission doesn't service the streets of the cities, that part of the millage that goes to the cities will be left to the discretion of the cities as to how to spend their share of it. For the city of Port Huron, that would be approximately $200,000. So it's not a huge amount of money, but enough that at least they could resurface a street or two.
The point I think, Howard, is it's not for operating costs, it's for grant match money for grants to receive federal.
That's
money,
correct.
To leverage federal money.
Right, to leverage federal money,
Roads
exactly.
and bridges, right, exactly.
Okay, anything else, Commissioner London, on that report?
No, I'm good.
David Rushing, do you have any?
No report.
Item 9, are there any citizens in attendance who wish to address the board? I have no cards filled out for that purpose. I see no hands, and no one standing up or trying to address the board. Again, I'll ask any citizens wishing to address the board. Being none, move to unfinished business. We have no unfinished business items on our official agenda. Gentlemen, do you have any unfinished business we care to discuss? Being none, we will pass on to new business. And we have a motion regarding, I guess, Howard, this is introduction of city officials. I don't know how many, or if we have any present for that purpose.
I do not see any members of the Port Huron City Council here.
Okay, do you want to make any comment regarding it's your district, of why we're here, what we're doing?
The fact that we do, as county commissioners, try to move the meeting around to various municipalities and townships over the year. And this is our first opportunity to come to this beautiful setting to have our meeting. And it is absolutely gorgeous, even on a rainy evening.
Thank you, Howard. Moving on to item B, do we have a motion regarding the county disbursements?
At this time, I'd like to move to approve the County of St. Clair disbursements for the month of May of 2012 in the amount of $9,712,754.12.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Is there any discussion on item 11B? We will need a roll call on that.
Commissioner London,
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann,
Yes.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Smaska.
Yes. Item 11C, motion.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt Resolution 1221, approving the Area Agency on Aging 1B implementation plan, Mr. Chairman.
Madam Clerk, do we need a roll call or voice vote on that? I don't think it's a money item.
I will support.
We have a motion and support. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 11D, library purchase software.
This time I make a motion to approve the purchase and implementation of PeopleWare staff scheduling software for the library in the amount of $10,972.80.
Second.
Support.
Motion and second. Any discussion regarding the software purchase at the library?
Just a comment, the anticipated savings in the budget is expected to be $7,027.20, so moving in the right direction.
Any other comments or discussion? Need a roll call vote on that, please.
Commissioner Rushing,
Yes.
Commissioner Ward,
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann,
Yes.
Commissioner London,
Yes.
Commissioner Smaska.
Yes.
Yes.
Item 11D, the 2013 Community Correction Plan.
This time, I'd like to move to approve the county corrections plan for the fiscal year 2013.
Support.
Any discussion regarding that? We have a motion and support. Now, that's not- Go ahead, Howard.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. We may want to mention for many of the listeners out there that we covered all of this in committee, and this is for final action, so.
Commissioner Heidemann has indicated that these matters have all been covered in committee a couple of weeks ago. We meet twice a month. That's where most of the discussion, Corporation Council is present. It's moved on to full board after complete discussion. The extra couple of weeks gives us time to make any additions, changes, deletions, corrections, and so forth. And they're here today. We will go through here rather quickly, but they have been reviewed. I appreciate that, Howard, to note that for the record and for everyone you in our meeting. Again, on the 2013 community correction plan, that would require only a voice vote. Is that correct? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 11F, inmate billing position request.
At this time, I'd like to move to approve the sheriff's office request to add a part-time employee to the manning table in the reimbursement office to perform collection activities.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 11G, resolution 12-24, placing the drug task force millage proposal on the ballot. Do you have a motion?
Yes. I would like to move to adopt resolution 12-24, placing the drug task force millage renewal on the ballot for the November election.
I'd like to support that.
Okay, we have a motion and support. Any discussion? Now, we do have a resolution prepared, is that correct?
Yes.
And we've dated that for today's date, and we intend to sign that here today, correct? If this passes. Okay, it's again, this would be a voice vote, correct? At this time, I'd call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 11H, Columbus Park Lodge change order.
Mr. Chair, I would like to move the adoption of resolution to approve the Columbus County Park Lodge construction change orders in the amount of $22,626.
Do you have a second?
Support.
We have a motion, we have support. Any discussion regarding that item? That will be a, I'm sorry, did you have something to say?
It's still going to be within the budget of what we allocated for the lodge. And essentially, the initial plan for handling water coming off of the roofing material was just to let it come down. And Mark Brushew,
Wasn't such a good plan?
not such a good plan, so they're putting in gutters and downs and also diverting the water into a drainage system, so it's carried away from the
It's
building.
on a huge hill on the backside.
Yeah,
of the
it's-
outside of-
Yeah, it definitely needed perhaps a little more than we initially thought.
We had motion and support. Any other discussion?
Howard, was that on the board, the Parks Board
Yes.
recommended
Yes.
that? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Anything else, gentlemen? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Heineman?
Yes.
Commissioner London?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Smansky?
Yes. Item 11I, armored courier bid award.
At this time, I'd like to move to award the armored courier bid to Federal Armored Truck for a 3-year term with 2 option 1-year renewals in the amount of $111,866.76.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion, questions, or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Heineman?
Yes.
Commissioner London?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Smansky?
Yes. Item 11J, cost allocation bid award for Maximus. Who is that?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract for the cost allocation plan preparation with Maximus for a 3-year term in the amount of $14,250 per annum.
Second that?
Motion and second. Any questions, comments? This time we'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner London?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Smansky?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Heineman?
Yes.
Item 11K, the added agenda item, fourth contract extension. Who is that?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve for final action the 4th contract extension of an amendment with Telski Excavating.
Is there a amount on that or no?
Excuse me?
I would second it.
Second, is there an amount that goes with that, or is that just an extension with no monetary statement? Not sure if that was, we'll do a roll call then.
Okay.
Commissioner Rushing?
We could have did Matt Williams leave?
Apparently.
Evidently he left.
We before we vote, we might mention that the net savings as we go to tonnage is expected to be $111,204. So this is another money saver for the landfill.
If this is a monetary value, will require a roll call. He's asking for roll call in case
Yes.
the contract extension may not be reduced to an actual, numeric value of savings or cost, but I think if we do a roll call, we're fine.
Yep.
And Mr. Chairman, that will be, as Howard said, at percentile wise, 12.4% savings.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Ward?
Yes.
Commissioner Heidemann?
Yes.
Commissioner London?
Yes.
Commissioner Smasko?
Yes. Under administrator's report, does anyone want to make any commentary? Our administrator is not present. Does he send any word from administration?
No report.
Good, bad, or otherwise? Okay.
I would just, like to make a comment, if I could, with the passage of this new contract with Talaskis, we should bring the total between savings and additional revenue at the landfill to about $1.3 million, 700,000 from sale
Saying the net
landfill gas.
effect of this change will be better.
Yeah, and then the about 500,000 we're expecting in savings due to having not to haul all the leachate away, and then this change too. So a nice combinations of savings and revenue enhancement.
And these changes were the result of ongoing review, and we had consultants advising us. It's been a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, it's been-
total, looking over how to make some of these
Yeah.
changes, so we'll put that on the record. Any other comments relating to administrator's report? Being none, is there any miscellaneous business?
Mr. Chairman, just one quick thing. I was able to get a little clarification on the proposed road commission millage. It's for a 4-year term.
Okay, you did.
Commissioner London asked.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
So that's a 4-year term on the road millage proposal. Any other miscellaneous business? Okay, being none, we can have a motion to receive and file.
I would move to receive and file packets that were sent to the commissioners, packets at their place, and any other information presented.
Support.
Motion is second. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next motion, gentlemen.
I move we adjourn.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Stand adjourned. This time, with the consent of my fellow commissioners, I would reopen the meeting for the St. Clair County Board of Commissioners, July 19, 2012, for the sole purpose of receiving and considering a motion to consider comments from a citizen who appeared over at the county building rather than at the city building and wished to address the board, and to accommodate that purpose only, I'd ask for a motion at this time.
I would so move.
Second. The motion is second. All in favor of allowing Mr. Gary Vanderhoeven to make 2-minute commentary regarding the rental deposit dispute, affirm by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, Mr. Vanderhoeven, you have 3 minutes to make a presentation regarding the issue you stated as a topic, rental deposit dispute. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, being as you only give me 3 minutes, I'm going to cut right to the chase. You guys, pardon me, the Board of Parks has, in my opinion, unlawfully held $100 of a security deposit for the rental at Goodles Park. I'll go right to the contract. It clearly states a refundable cleanup, and I emphasize cleanup, okay, deposit. The leasee agrees to pay a refundable cleanup deposit in the amount of the above to the lessor, and if cleanup is satisfactorily completed, the lessor will return the said deposit to the lessee. This refundable cleanup deposit is to be separate from the rental check. Is to be paid on execution of this contract. We've done that. I emphasize cleanup deposit. Under the Truth in Renters Act, 454 Michigan, 1978, it clearly defines if you are collecting a deposit from a renter, it has to be clearly defined what's that to be applied to, okay? If it's damage beyond wear and tear, that must so be stated. If it's cleanup, that also has to be stated. And you're welcome to review that. It does not state that in this particular rental agreement, which I can give you a copy if you'd like to read it, if you haven't. I received on 5/24, a statement from them that says minus $100 for fee for damages and late exit. Damages, I dispute, number one. Verbally, they said there was a stain on a chair. However, if you also review the statute of the state of Michigan, if you're going to retain any described damages in a rental deposit, then you have to go through a checklist. They would do it, we would do it. That was not done. Therefore, I believe I'm entitled to $100 deposit back. And if I wanted to nitpick, and I've been through it for 60 days, you also did not advise me properly under the statute in 12-point font, which also says in parentheses 1/8 inch. I can't get over 3/32 of an inch on this statement that they sent. So I'm asking for my deposit. There's other circumstances, but I'm sure I'm over my 3 minutes, and I'm pretty sure that if any of you guys have been landlords in the past, you'll agree that your contract does not allow them to take $100 for damages. It's a refund specifically spelled out. Would you like copies of any of this?
Sir, you can produce to the board anything you'd like to be made of record of your presentation, so if you'd like to leave us with something, you can certainly leave that as part of the record. We will include that after the fact with documents accepted at the regular meeting.
And you were right, your 3 minutes were indeed up. You've probably heard the duck quacking.
Thank you.
Now, how will I get some render of decision?
I would suggest, if your presentation's over, what I would suggest you're gonna have to do is, if this is a Parks and Rec, you should highlight some of the information on it. Parks and Rec has to take first action or inaction if they need it.
Mr. Chairman, just so you know, Parks and Rec has already denied his request. It was brought to us, administration denied his request, and we supported it.
I might also mention that your appeal is improper because it's been appealed twice by exactly who you said. I mean, the definition of appeal is you go to a higher tribunal.
And here's what we're gonna do. You had made your presentation, evidently Parks and Rec has acted on it, and our administrators acted on it, and this board has in fact acted on it. It must have been the last meeting, I wasn't there. So your next step would be to file a lawsuit. That's where you're at. You sue the county for your $100.
Okay,
Because
so-
Parks and Rec denied it, our administrator denied it, this board denied it. So unless you get some judge to say you're entitled to it.
No, that's fine. I think you'll see in my last one, the Attorney General supports my position, so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, motion to adjourn?
I move to re-adjourn.
Support. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?